Okay, good morning, and everybody's here. Kathy, let's see if we can get you in the picture too. And we're expecting Valerie and Corbin, and I forget our hubby's name. He was going to come. I was actually going to watch Corbin for a bit this morning too, which was kind of cool. But good morning, everyone. Good morning, Torito online. Welcome to the Coffee House Network, where we are hooking up every Friday online and in person at different coffee shops or in your office, wherever you are. You can find us on Meetup. Just look Meetup and just put in the Coffee House Network. If you want to find out stuff on Instagram, just look up for the hashtag the Coffee House Network. And we're just getting organized by showing up every Friday at 8 o'clock in Whistler. So if you're ever in Whistler, feel free to come and track us down. Today we're at Blenz. Some mornings we're at Kathy's real estate office. And Adam has some other suggestions for other shops as well. And we'll probably get into some different we're looking at camera gear for expanding as well, so we've got more of a fisheye view, and you can get a better view of where we are and hear us better than that. But for now, we're just going to start. Today, Adam, mute. Hopefully, you could hear me. Did that just mute this now? Adam and I have been talking about. He's doing a 30-day challenge for his blog that he's building, which is called
defeatyourlimits.com.
And the other one?
Fixyourbikenow.com.
Because he's a bike tech, which is pretty cool. And I'm just going to share my my multiple tabbed computer here. So we've been talking about WordPress a lot, and then also I'm about to do another website for Black's Pub, which I haven't done a WordPress site from scratch for a long time. I've just been updating and creating the ladies meeting website as the communication studio and a couple other ones. So I'm about to get back into see where WordPress is at, see where Google is at. So I thought I'd go and look at the top apps for, does that mean I'm not online? Oh, there we are. There we go. Top apps for WordPress, but then we were also talking about some of the best ways to share on social media. So I just thought quickly, one of the reasons we've already got 100 people signed up for this meetup. So
Congratulations.
I think we're actually at like 130 or 150. And Adam was talking about how to build your mailing list. Meetup.com is probably one of the most fun, easy ways to do it, especially if you live in a small town where there isn't a lot of opportunity, but you might have some really cool niche markets. So for example, we have a friend who's a nutritional coach. And if she goes to Sunrun, well, then she's got a really niche set of clients who are really into fitness and good food and things like that. She could create a meetup from people that she meets at Sunrun or a Sunrun meetup to practice running, but then maybe her ultimate goal is to help provide them with better nutrition. So those are kind of one idea for meetup. The ladies meeting, we almost always have new members sign up for the meetup every month. It's a private women's club, but we use Meetup as a marketing tool to bring in new members. So we meet on the last Tuesday of every month in Vancouver. Kathy and I often go down. Kathy sometimes comes down to Vancouver. I have a mastermind group that I run in the morning, and then we meet every single last Tuesday of the month, except for December, because that would be crazy. And have a meetup group with 30 to 50 women who come and meet for lunch. And that just started on Meetup, and now we have over 800 members. And the Coffee House Network had 100 members within a week, actually. And the goal will be to raise that to 1,000 so that everyone that's showing up will be growing their personal network. And one of the goals will be to invite coffee houses on as part of that network. So that'll be really fun. And I think it'll make it very easy so that people can gather at those, and we can recommend those coffee houses to gather and co-work at. So the idea is that we will sit and do like 10 or 20 minutes of a little bit of training. So today we'll talk about sharing on social media as well as WordPress, and then people can stay and co-work with whoever they invited to the coffee shop as well from anywhere in the world. Or for example, we have people from the ladies meeting who might be off traveling, and so maybe they've missed a meeting, but they can tune in to the coffee house on a Friday morning at 8 o'clock from anywhere in the world through Zoom, as long as there's a good Wi-Fi connection. So that's kind of a little bit of an overview. So I was actually just going through, and I'm not even going to create slides today. But first of all, Adam, you've said a little bit about what your business is. And anything else you want to say about your websites?
Well, so basically I've created right now second webpage, which is about defeating personal limits in sports. Well, it's also applied to the life, but I don't really want to touch the like life challenges and stuff like that because it will be too broad. But the second web page is full launch is ready. I started sharing it, and I'm quite happy for it. The first one, it don't have a full potential right now because I started working on the second one. But yeah, if you wanna check my webpage, it's defeatyourlimits.com, and you can find a lot of information about how can you be faster, stronger, and it have a little bit different approach to it because I basically connect my experience from my life together.
And building mindset.
And I'm trying to focus on building minds, building the right mindset instead of building body, because body will only follow. It's just the reflection of our mind. So it's a little bit different approach than more of the other training programs which are around, stuff like that. And it's just a blog right now, so
it's a good start.
It's free. It's cool. Full of nice reading and some pictures.
Okay, and Sharito, you want to tell us a little bit about your business as well? And as well, what Sharito doesn't always tell people is she's actually a very experienced scuba diver as well.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Adam. So I'm Sharito K, and I can help people with chronic issues through nutrition, lifestyle, and then I augment that through essential oils and helping with their mood, as well as removing the toxins out of their home. And my website is vibrantroppers.com. And as Anissa said, I'm a very avid scuba diver. I'm actually trained as a master scuba instructor. And so I'm very well versed in speaking to a group of people in a learning and teaching capacity. So most of the way that I teach people about toxin-free homes and essential oils is through workshops. So lunch and learns, as well as lifestyle gatherings, where we talk about an entire, a specific topic such as meditation, lifestyle, what we eat, and then augmenting that with essential oils instead of other things that we could do that may be potentially more harmful to long-lasting health, such as prescription medicine. Yeah.
And we have Cassie here as well.
Hi.
Our lifestyle locator.
Yeah, so one of the things I worked with in real estate was a branding agency out of the United States that helped me come up with a theme that really related to my new real estate career in Whistler, because I moved here 4 years ago when I came over from Nanaimo on Vancouver Island after 22 years of real estate over there, and basically relaunched my career here in Whistler with the theme of lifestyle locator. So I've created a WordPress blog with Anissa's help to highlight why we love living here. I've skied here since I was 5. I was a ski instructor and worked in the hotel and conference business for 10 years here. And now coming back in my 50s, it's kind of my theme is to help families and retirees find their legacy homes here in Whistler and also their rental investment properties. So creating that lifestyle that fits their needs and the price point that meets their requirements as well. And so that's my theme, and I find that using the WordPress sites and connecting with people online around the world, because so many people connect online first when looking at real estate, it's really important to have a website related to your life and what your passion is, and then connect it with people who are looking and aligning with that passion and lifestyle.
Well, and I love that when you get Kathy's business card, there we go. I have a lot of my ladies meeting members. I have their cards up in my office, and so she's actually got a picture of her skiing, and she needs a summer card because she's also an epic downhill biker, just like Adam here is as well. So I'm actually, I actually just pulled up something super simple, and then we're just in regards to WordPress. And more importantly, you know, this is also something to make this, because this is recorded, to make this a little bit more green. all you ever need to do, because there's always going to be new WordPress plugins. Because WordPress is a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not put out by one person. All the pieces of WordPress are crowdsourced and crowd written and judged and things like that. So when you go to look at a WordPress plugin, one may have been created 10 years ago and never updated. One may be new and never been downloaded but could still be amazing. And when you go into the WordPress platform, which most major providers will give you the opportunity to do that. So Adam uses Bluehost. I'm on GoDaddy. I think Kathy's
I'm on GoDaddy.
on GoDaddy.
I'm on GoDaddy as well.
There you go. So they have a lot of support and they provide the basic platform, but then what you do is you plug things in for those people who have never used a WordPress platform. You'll see other ones out there like, I'm just blanking out of them. You'll see other opportunities out there too. There's the one that begins with a W. The one I can't think of it.
Yeah.
But WordPress is really tried and true, and more importantly, Google, who runs the world, really loves WordPress. So you're always going to be able to get better SEO, which is search engine optimization, when you're using WordPress as well. Wix is the other one. I'm thinking, W-I-X.
Yeah.
It's super simple. I'm sure they've become more complex as they've aged as well, but you'll see that one come up as well as kind of a comparison to WordPress. WordPress just has more depth. It has, from what I understand, and it has more crowdsourcing and people putting into it. So the stakes are a little bit higher to have a really good WordPress plugin. So my goal today is to show you that you might be watching this 5 years from right now. It is 19, but as we're putting things up on the web, as podcasting and video blogging become the new blogging, because now that's where everything's going to go. It's going to go to video. 70% of advertising, marketing, and things on the internet are going to be in a video format, and then they'll get translated into text, and then you've got audio as well. So you've covered 3 of the learning styles as well when people are coming online. And so you're going to be able, the goal is just go and Google top 10 or top 20 WordPress plugins for that year. Right now you'll see I have up on my screen top 10 WordPress for 2019. But you could be watching this 3 years from now, and you're going to need to go and look for the most up-to-date thing. And also, this is 20. You might want to actually niche it down to your top 5 or your top 10, depending on how much time you've got to study as well. So Adam's just been going through a 30-day challenge, which I highly recommend, is because sometimes you get into doing something. Hey, oh my God, I got 2 for 1. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to take a little quick break.
Yeah.
2 seconds. We got Robin and Valerie. Do you guys want to just put chairs over and tag in? That's amazing. Our biggest coffee house yet. Woohoo. Choritos online.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and we're just talking about WordPress. Valerie, Robin, Adam.
Hi, Adam. Pleasure to meet you.
Kathy.
Hi,
Kathy.
Valerie. Have you guys met at lunch?
Adam. Maybe. Valerie, nice to meet you.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll get right back to it. So today we're talking about WordPress pages and plugins and things like that for a few minutes, and then we'll get to the networking part as well. So what I was just saying is Adam's doing, if you've never put up a WordPress site before, Adam's doing a 30-day challenge, which is a great way to just for 30 days focus on building your plugins, building ways to, for example, a little tool that I had Adam put on his Grammarly, and I actually had Marina got her on that as well, because often I'm asked to, ironically, because I never learned grammar, I'm still asked to fix other people's stuff. But Grammarly, it's a great little install that you actually, it has nothing to do with WordPress, but it'll affect your WordPress, because anything that you're doing within Google, it's just an add-on to Google. So anytime you're typing, it's going to catch your grammar, capitalization, all sorts of things. Or you can even just go into its own version of Word, Microsoft Word, and it'll let you just type in there, and it'll give you suggestions for sentence structure and things like that. So yeah, really fun.
So it's an app, or
it's considered a plugin for Google.
Or also for Windows.
Yes,
you can get it for
a lot
Windows.
on my one, but I've never gotten it.
Yeah. I would just go into, basically go in and Google app Grammarly and Google Chrome, and
Yeah.
you'll get the
Okay.
Chrome plugin for that.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. And it's just installs. I'm not actually in Google right now, but let me see if I can just switch over to here. You can see all my tabs open. But you'll see right up here in this corner here, Grammarly.
Yeah.
It actually just affects everything that you're typing. So let's
So
see.
if I'm typing a blog, it's going to.
Yeah.
If you're email, it's gonna show in
I
your
think-
email every text you are writing.
Everything that you type. Actually, I think even if I'm in Adobe Spark or let's see what's something easy I can load. CRA. Oh, here we go. We can just do basic. Come on. Go away. I'm going to my Gmail.
It's too many tabs open.
I have a pen that says you have too many tabs open. So when I go to compose something,
Yeah.
here if I go the quick, this is the first thing if you ever had to learn on a typewriter, the quick brown fox jumps. If I say jump over the lazy dog, hopefully this is going to work. Oh, it still forms a sense. So if I were to say jump, see now it's got a red line under it? That's Grammarly. Okay. And then it gives you your options of jump, jumped, jumps. So, and for those of you who don't know, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog has every letter in the alphabet in it, which is kind of cool.
What I really like on Grammarly is like once you are writing on Word, it's gonna highlight the wrong words. Okay, if you are writing on Google, it's gonna highlight the wrong words, but it's not gonna tell you what should you write there and what's the meaning on how it should be right. And then you start searching. Okay, so arranged, is it like 2 hours or 1 hour or like? And then you are searching for it, and it's taking a time.
Right.
And here you basically like hover with your cursor on, and it will give you suggestions straight away. That's what it is good.
Yeah, so it's a great starter too, because if you're using WordPress, you're going to generally be using it. I, for example, log into my WordPress page from my GoDaddy, because then I don't have to remember the WordPress, the website passwords and stuff, which is great too. So if you don't want to worry about passwords, then you can just have your GoDaddy website and log in that way, which makes it super easy, because then you don't have to worry about never being able to log into things. Robin, and we already did a little quick intro on our businesses. Do you want to just do a quick intro as to what your business is as well? Sure. This is Robin.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Saw you the other day.
Yes.
I guess just the two of you wouldn't know what I do. I own a business. It's called Circle of Life.
Speak into the mic.
Oh, sorry, Circle of Life Center, and I work with people who are going through very challenging transitions in their life, and a specific focus for me is end of life and grief for families, for the person who's passing as well as their families.
Cool. And your
Okay.
website?
circleoflifecenter.ca.
Awesome. And Valerie.
Hi.
Hi, Valerie.
Karina. My name's Valerie Cunningham, and my company is Value Fitness. I'm a personal trainer, and I specialize in muscle activation techniques. It helps with injuries, corrects muscle imbalances. I like working with people 40 and 60 that are trying to get back into exercise, and I like to work with athletes to improve their athletic performance.
Sweet. Yeah. And do either of you guys have a WordPress page?
Like a website?
I have a website.
Yeah.
WordPress.
Yep.
But somebody helps me with it. So I just tell them when I need something. So it'd be good for me to learn more of this, so I can
Cool.
do the plugins and understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's good to have. So the ones that I'm just covering here are some really basic, super foundational ones, because the amount of plugins that you can put in for WordPress are completely endless.
Okay.
And I think you guys, I was just talking about when you go to download a plugin, just to back up from even showing you any, it'll show you the year it was created, and when the last time it got updated, and number 3, how many times it's been downloaded, and it'll have a little rating star. And so that's something that you're going to want to look at as well. So if something was created 3 years ago and it's only been downloaded 3 times and it has no stars, versus, so if you're going to look at what your choices are, usually they'll give you 3 or 4 choices of a type of plugin and whether it's been updated. And you're going to pick the one that generally has 4 to 5 stars, has got maybe at least 100 to 1,000 downloads, and look at when it was created. And then you want to look at when it was last updated. And then the other thing too is with the WordPress, you're going to have picked a theme for WordPress so that it's what the look of it is. And each of those are going to be, yes. Each of those are going to say whether they're compatible with the theme that you've picked as well, or it'll say this has never been tried with that.
Can I just ask you a question? Yeah, sure. I'm a bit confused about what you mean by a theme.
Okay, so when you go, so WordPress is a platform.
Yes.
And the theme will be your look. So you'll see different websites that have, the theme is the foundation of what your website looks like.
Does that mean the page is the way it's laid out? Okay, I understand what you mean.
So for example, at the top it might have a banner,
yes,
and then it's got 3 columns, and then it's got two posts. So you get to pick different themes.
Or are we allowed to like look at this, like watch you go through this?
Into the theme part?
Just everything you're talking about. Be like, oh, Grammarly, here it is.
You know what
here's
I'll do
a plugin, here's the stars,
what I can do,
your ratings.
So this is really, we're just going really general. And then what we can do is, I'll go back and give you some visuals for it too.
I understand what you mean by theme. I'm looking at my website in my mind, so I understand.
Yeah, so you can pick like a black and white theme, or you can pick it's just really basic, or you might want to have a 3-column theme. Some people want to have just their images, right? Really super artistic theme where it's just their blog post by image. It's almost like clickbait, you know? So do you have a name for the theme that you used for yours, for example?
Yeah, for Fix Your Bike now I have WordPress 2017. It's a WordPress theme, so it's also quite secure. And defeater limits have Joomla.
Joomla. That's another foundation.
The other thing is that your WordPress theme also should be well coded and secure, because Google is basically checking for the web pages which have a good code and which have a bad code. Like the web page with the good code have a tendency to show higher in the rank and stuff like that. Everything is.
And that goes back to looking at when something was updated as well. So, for example, my Communication Studio website is on a theme that I need to go in and update on a regular basis. So you want to just go and update the code, and it's just literally a button. It's not you don't actually have to worry about code in WordPress, which is nice. Right. When I started as a graphic designer, there weren't websites. I used to okay, our clients would want a website and be like, okay, we better run. There weren't no courses either. So we had to go and learn HTML.
Yeah.
You know, we had to go to London Drugs. Do you remember when London Drugs used to have those great big tables of books? For anyone that's not in Canada, I guess even in BC, London Drugs is just a big drugstore. Like everything, it's like a mini Walmart. It's got everything from food to whatever. And they'd have these great big tables of computer programming books. And we'd just be like, okay, let's figure this out. There was no Google. There was no anything. And you'd be like, why do I need email? I've got a fax machine.
Yeah.
And I worked for a company called Dowco Internet, and they actually would plunk us in the middle of the mall to sell email. Right? So kind of crazy.
Wow, old school. That is crazy.
It is really, really old school. Oh, hold on. Someone's looking for us. Oh, okay. Sally wants to come next week. Look forward to seeing you, Sally. And so then that became, and then we started, before to find someone else's website, like for example, for everyone on the ladies, we define each other's website, you would have what's called a web circle. So there'd be a little box at the bottom and you'd go to the next person in the circle. And that's how you used to find each other. You'd have you'd pick a group of quilters, or you could only find people through, there was no Google, there was no search, right? It was just, it had to be a direct link to the next website. And that's how the internet, after we all know it came from, I want to say arms, but military, had a military background. So as it became public, you had to have these direct links. If I wanted your website, I had to have the exact address, or you'd have to be in my web circle. So it's kind of fun. And then when I went to, and that was after graphic design school, I got into it. And then Dreamweaver existed, where it was like the beginning of WordPress, where you had templates and things like that. So you didn't need to know as much HTML and code, which was fun. And WordPress is the next step up from that, where you can drag and drop things in. There's something called Beaver Builder, so you can literally, it's like, I want an image there, and I want this here, and I want that there, and then you just go fill it in. It's kind of
Right.
So within your themes, like each theme will have a structure, but then you can just drag and drop things in. It's so easy. Pretty much anyone who is curious can run a WordPress website. You do have to be curious. I always compare it to people like, how did you get good at this? And I'm like, my mom, no, as I would say, because you have to have the patience to rip something out sometimes.
Right.
And sew it back in. So something, if you've gone and chosen a plugin that you don't like or isn't working with your theme, you got to be willing to take it out and try something new, right? So it does take patience. Sometimes if you want to have any sort of like complicated website, then you might want to get a programmer, get somebody to do that, because there is HTML is behind all of it. It is all still coding behind it. We just don't see it. Now it's got this beautiful facade that is being put out. And the goal today is just basically show you some of the foundations quickly. We've actually gone on a little longer. I'd probably rather get to more networking, but and I'm going to pull this in here. Look at that beautiful sunlight behind me.
Gorgeous. Like
last week when we were here at Blenz, it was a lot quieter, so we were able to have the music down there. And yeah, it's not so quiet in there. So one of the most important things is on a website is how are you collecting an email? So yes, you're sharing information, but you really want to get an email. Social media is great, but the whole idea of social media is to get people to your website. Otherwise, if you don't have an email list, you're going to spend more money on direct marketing, on Google AdWords, things like that. You got to really pump that up. So you really want to make sure you're always collecting and giving people a reason to update their email and stay in contact with you. So, for example, on the side of Adam's website, he's got a form where he can collect emails into constant contact. Kathy, I can't remember what we put on yours.
It just goes directly to my Gmail.
Okay. But we put some sort of form, didn't we?
Yeah, contact form.
Contact form,
Yeah, through GoDaddy.
And Valerie, do you have any sort of?
Got like a sign up to my newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah, MailChimp to sign up to
Yeah,
my newsletter.
MailChimp. And I use MailChimp. The beautiful part about MailChimp is also that you can have a standalone, it creates a standalone page as well. So for example, if I just want to email out or post a link for someone to just sign up for something specific for an event, I can create an email list specific to that event. And then MailChimp lets you break all of those down. And they've integrated everything from texting to all sorts of things. They've really, they are becoming a CRM, which is a customer relationship management tool. They were always on the edge of it, but they've actually publicly now said we are becoming a CRM, which is what we actually thought LinkedIn would do when they were bought out by Microsoft. Thought they would actually go to become, they were actually more of a CRM before they got bought by Microsoft, where you'd be able to use it more as a, and I think if you go into Sales Navigator, which is different, but they haven't taken the basic LinkedIn to become a CRM, which we were really kind of hoping for, where you would have your, I thought they would integrate Microsoft Word and things like that into LinkedIn and make it more of a suite, but they never did. It was on the verge of doing stuff like that, and then it never.
So you think MailChimp is starting to move that direction now?
Yes, but for my CRM, for example, I use something called Zoho because they've promised that and I use it for invoicing, for all sorts of things. They actually also have social media integrations and things like that because they've promised that their CRM will always be free. So, yeah, which is.
I don't have a CRM.
You have MailChimp.
You have MailChimp,
Yeah,
which you can
MailChimp.
use, and you can actually, with MailChimp, you can download your list and upload it to Zoho, for example.
Okay.
But what it does is it integrates, when I get a new client, I put them into Zoho, and then I can do a quote, I can do invoicing, and then it does have campaigns and things like MailChimp does as well, which is really cool. I'm just still really loving MailChimp though. So it's nice to have options. And with Zoho, it is kind of like WordPress in the way that it has plugins, basically. So I can just use it, or I can just use the CRM. And it's kind of like this, but that's a whole other project. But I like it because my list is always seen.
Do you have some top plugins that you would suggest that everybody have on their
Yeah.
site?
So one would be to pick a good one for forms. So that there'll be, for example, there will be a plugin for MailChimp to go onto that will be a plugin for your website. So here, the first one that these guys talked about are Everest forms. So the point is, it should be some sort of form plugin. So Zoho will have one, you'll have one, so that people get right into your CRM directly, and then you can direct which list those people are going to, which is nice because then you've got a list of breakdown. So you might have you've signed up for a list on your front page, but maybe you've got more specific target market on the back. Maybe someone's got onto the third or fourth page deeper into your website, and there's a form that they're going to fill out again because they want a specific package or a download from you. And the deeper, we were just talking about bounce rates this morning, and so that's calling. That means you'd have the deeper people go into your website.
Right.
It's whereas if they get to and they bounce off, that's kind of where it comes from. They get to their first page, they don't stick around, they bounce. It's kind of like I bounce, just kind of like a slang term. But if you want to lower your bounce rate by having those offers deeper and deeper into your website, and the forms are a way to show and track that they're doing that. Yes, they signed up for Valerie on her front page for her newsletter, so that's your first form. But then they get a little bit deeper. Maybe they watch her training session, and then they get to the third page, and it's like, no, you know what? I really want Valerie in person. I want to come out to her training gym, and I want her to take me on a fitness journey, and I want to do this. So I'm going to actually sign up for her to call me. So those can be, you see how you're getting deeper into the relationship already just on the website. So, and then maybe she's got a retreat they're going to sign up for, or it's how deep they want to go.
So
Coaching package or training
a
package,
certain
coaching for me.
group for people to just visiting one page versus your fourth page.
That's something new to me.
What is new to me?
Well, think about it. So the people that are just, maybe they just,
Curious.
they've heard about you, they've checked out, maybe they met you at Toastmasters, and they're like, I'm just going to visit her page, but I already have a trainer, or I'm not really there, I'm kind of busy. And they might sign up for your newsletter. But then it's like, oh, I see under here that she teaches this at 4 p.m. on Fridays. Well, I'm going to click on that and see if that's how much it is, right? So now they've gone deeper into the website. And then they get to that, maybe they get to your schedule page, and then they see underneath that you do a fitness retreat, and they're like, you know what, I really deserve to go away for 4 days to Whistler and do a retreat with, and I'm going to go hiking, and I'm going to do this, and she's going to go through really deeply and focused on what my fitness journey needs to be, and I'm just going to do that. I'm going to buy it right now. So that's going to be another form that they've filled out, right? These are all forms, right? And that's then you've seen that someone's got to your fourth page. They're really committed to who you are and what you do. You've obviously made some sort of deeper connection with them versus them just signing up for your newsletter, right? Whereas, like, for example, with Kathy's website, they might just be like, I'm visiting Whistler, I want to just check in. They might just file for her newsletter, versus they might click and call her office, which would be it could be a different form to get to. Fill this out, click here, and maybe it texts them the office number so they can just click. Yeah, that's a good idea. Click and get a call from the office because they know they want to go.
Every page is leading them to a specific call to action, and you're taking them on the journey. Yeah. Okay, I don't know.
Well, I think when you say can you help everyone?
A little bit every Friday.
Yeah, but it's nice. Well, I think setting up my website and get me going. Stop talking about it. Get to it. And,
Get shit done.
You cannot.
done.
I do love my
You
site.
cannot steer a parked car.
Yeah.
I love my website, and it's been I like how it's set up. However, I realize that it's very soft, and there's just a lot of text, and I can use some of that, but I need more for some programs that I'm offering. Because I want to move away from the one-on-one coaching, do more programs, like a 4-month program, or a retreat, or a VIP day, so that the people come together. Because helping people in a group setting is very, very healing for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to move in that direction now. So yeah. I have to change some things.
Well, it uses your time better.
Yeah.
And so in building the ladies meeting into the mastermind group, I really specifically didn't want to I never enjoyed doing one-on-one coaching, very rarely.
Yeah.
It just becomes too intense. It becomes a job, right? And it's just like, it's way more fun to do things in a group. So
for either one, I've done a lot of one-on-ones over the years, and I'm just saying, would like to do more. And I like to travel, so the retreat idea for me is like, yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
So one of the basics as well, there's a couple, I'm going to go to the top 5 here, and then we're going to, because it's already 20 to 9, and we're getting through on time, and then we all want to sit and chat a little bit, and we'll leave it open for people to listen in. Is Jetpack. It's something that is always recommended. It basically becomes some of your SEO, it becomes some of your security as well, and then it's always being updated, and it helps with your rating as well, and it helps with Google, and helps you move along faster. And we're recording all this for anybody.
Oh, are you?
Yep,
Okay, thank
it's all
you.
gets,
I'm
yep.
wishing I brought my pad in.
No, it's all recorded, and you can go back and watch any of our
Thank
videos
you.
as well.
Thank you.
They're up on a YouTube page. So, and I'll get you to, if you join the meetup, for anybody that missed before, if you join the meetup, which I'll send you the link, if you are speaking on there, and then we'll resend out the web.
I'm seeing we could be at home just on the meetup.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Or the idea is you'll go meet Valerie at the coffee shop on Friday morning.
I see what you mean.
So this meant to
Join
me.
in.
Yeah. So
Right.
then you come and listen to the Coffee House Network for a little bit of training. You guys each bring your laptops and do it as well.
That's a good idea.
So it's kind of collaboration.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That's really good.
It's kind of fun. Or for example, Jen's in South America right now. If she were to find a good Wi-Fi Friday morning and wants to, and she misses us so much, she might want to tag in and say hi. So the idea is it can be international. Ask-A-Met. We were talking about this morning, and I hate it. I hate Ask-A-Met. Anybody else like Ask-A-Met?
What is
I
it?
don't know what that's.
Adam, what is Ask-A-Met?
I don't know. I have just installed it.
Basically,
Book told me to do so.
it's that thing that keeps bots from signing up for your mailing list. It's when you get the box of
Yes,
thing,
yes.
and you're like, click on the four lights in the picture.
Yes.
Click on the 4 cars,
Yes.
or click on the 4 storefronts. I think those are the 3. Have I missed anything?
Yeah.
Bridges.
Bridges, yeah.
Yes, and then if you miss
I am
a
not
little,
robot.
yeah, yes, and then you have to click I am not a robot, and then you miss one, so you end up doing like 3 images, and sometimes you're ready to just like pluck out your eyebrows first, but you're like, usually it's on something really important, like your banking, so you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Where's my touch screen? Anyway, so yeah, Ask-A-Met. It is recommended. Do it, but it can drive you crazy, but it is worth it. It does help you protect you from, especially if you have comments open on your blog. It will hopefully help moderate that. It's generally free. You do have to sign up for a WordPress.com account. So just do that. WordPress.com or .net. It'll push you there to do it. Just do it. And then obviously all of these plugins generally start free, but then you can upgrade them, right? Depending on the security and quality that you need for your website. You're going to decide that as you go. Yoast is a very well-known SEO, search engine optimization format plugin. So it's going to help you get found easier. So if it just use the free version, it's not going to hurt. It's going to be better than not having it. If not, you should make sure you have something that's like comparable to what is Yoast. So just like with Google, with anything, you can put in Yoast competition, Yoast compare. And if you just put in those 2 keywords, it'll sometimes when you see what it's compared to, you start to understand it better. So again, if you are interested in doing a WordPress site, you really need to be curious. If you're not curious about this stuff, don't even start. Just get someone else to do it, because it is, sitting there till
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm like, yeah, I've got somebody for that.
Well, I do have plugins, but actually I don't know what even they are.
Yeah.
So now I'm curious about that, and I don't, right?
right? And here's the other curious thing too is if you don't update your plugins,
Yeah.
you are open to viruses.
Okay.
Right? So I had a website, who shall not be named, she's like, yeah, just set it up and then we'll leave it. No, I don't want to pay you to upkeep it. And so then it started getting condom ads on it stuff, because she never updated any of the plugins or any of the theme. So themes need to be updated because you need to update the code for different things, right? You're going to always need to be updating if you're going to be managing your WordPress site. So if you have someone else doing it, you need to also, when they quote on a monthly cost, even if it's $50 to do an update a month, it's worth it, other than being taken over by condom ads.
Okay.
It's a real thing.
Okay.
So you need to always be looking at making sure that all of your plugins and your themes are updated. Just like you would update your computer, right?
Right.
Just like you're going to update when Microsoft says you need a Microsoft software update. When you go from XP, there's a reason we don't have XP anymore. It's always a software update because they're deleting the gaps that people can get in that use robots to just find the little gaps in your coding. So
I never update my computer.
You will think about it
Always
now.
like later.
but then it becomes a great big thing that crashes your computer.
Yeah.
So this is actually a really important one, Google XML sitemaps. It's free, and it's how Google indexes your website and what pages you have. So it basically does the job for you of indexing all of your website pages, and then it knows what to find. So it's really important to actually have this free, and it just makes you much more searchable as far as Google is concerned. And again, it's a free plugin, but you want to keep updating it because Google is always updating it and things like that. I'm not going to cover WooCommerce because if you don't need it, you don't need it. It's basically you could be using Shopify, you can WooCommerce, you can sell products on your website, but we're not really going there.
I would just say one thing, that if you are thinking about selling products and having WooCommerce, once you are picking your theme, make sure it's compatible with WooCommerce.
That's true. You do need to make sure, because I've had people build a theme and then you realize that it's not compatible. And again, like I said at the beginning, I don't know if you guys were here, we talked about that your plugin is compatible with your theme. And so as you're creating all of this data, it's what and people are coming to your site, you're creating a cache of data. Just like we used to have to empty, does anyone remember we used to have to empty the cache for your browser? So you can tend to have a build up there. And so total cache, and again, this is another one where there's lots of comparisons, other things that will manage your cache for you. But if you notice that your website is starting to slow down, then you need to manage your cache, dump some cache, and manage your data basically. And then of course, Adam and I were talking about having a backup. So I've years ago, I remember having this great website where I was blogging and just creating tons and tons of content for teaching people how to use how to do marketing. I think that one, basically marketing content, and I did back it up. So at one point, it was just all gone. So one thing I would recommend is if you're writing a blog, create your blog in Evernote or a word processing program or somewhere. Keep it separate and organized. So your storage program and your filing of how you're creating something is really important. Because then you've always sorry.
Can I just go for a
absolutely.
minute? So I'd write box and I'm putting them into Dropbox. So is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. Evernote, Dropbox, just something that is separate from your website in a nice, so for example, if you're writing one a month, have a file structure anywhere is really important, but just have like 2019, January to December, and then that, and then for example, if you have links to, the way I teach people to write a blog post is to create a video, take the content from the video, create the blog post, and then also upload the audio from your video up into a podcast, because then you've got these three formats.
Wow.
You've covered the three types of learning.
Yes.
And then also thirdly, if you've got a download, then you've got people who might want to do a worksheet as well. So you've got covered all four of interactive learning styles. Some people want to just download your podcast and go. They don't want to read. Right? Some people want to just. I quite often throw videos on in the background while I'm doing other things. So it's.
So you do a video of your blog.
Well, I'm doing it right now with you.
Wow. Okay.
No, it actually makes it easier.
I guess it would, because I keep going, there's so much content in these blogs, and I was giving a lot of holistic health, so I'm always giving a natural recipe usually, or some tips or an exercise.
Yeah, so you could give a verbal recipe and then do a video of making it.
Yeah.
And then create a theme around that with a downloadable recipe.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
So I always like, does anyone listen to Gary Vaynerchuk? So what he does is he does this, and then he just hands it off to an assistant and says, take the top pieces, make into images. He'll just take one clip from a video like this, use that to promote on LinkedIn, and then you can choose, he doesn't even post the whole thing. And then he creates a set of images, a blog post from it, and then he's done. And he has an assistant do that. Like, he has a camera that follows him around all day too. But so I'm working on it. But the point is, you could just get in your kitchen, do your thing, record it, give it to someone, or you know.
Or if I'm in nature, I'll be talking about a plant that's natural. And I'm starting to film my video myself now.
Yeah, I used to just video other things while I was talking. Well. Yeah, like, this is like getting comfortable with that.
Yes.
I did 30. Like Adam's doing the 30-day challenge. I did the 30-day money challenge where I got on Facebook every day and talked about money for 30 days, and it was just like sometimes it was at night on the deck in the dark. I was like, okay, I'm doing 5 minutes today. You know, nobody can see my hair. Or it'd be like, or if anyone's seen my first video, it's literally one of my first videos I ever did where I was so uncomfortable was in my bathroom, in a bathrobe with a towel in my head to just say, just do it. Right. Just do it. Because we're all uncomfortable. And that's what we have to remember. Yeah. We're all uncomfortable. So, and if we can find that one person who identifies with who we are that's uncomfortable, well, then we've helped that one person too by getting out of our own comfort zone. So backup and security. So just to go back to making sure that you're always going to go back and be able to install all these things, but your actual WordPress content on your blog, that's like a piece of artwork that you've created. You put a lot of energy into that. So make sure you store it off your site in case it gets hacked. I mean, hacking is just a fact of life. It can happen. Even if you've got the best security. I remember years ago when we had, what was that security? One of the big stores like Best Buy, and I walked in there and there was 20 computers lined up that had all been infected by what was called the heart virus, right? And they were all lovely brand new computers. They weren't old. It's just somebody got in, broke some code, and it just. So now people are hacking entire governments. So who thinks if you think that your website's not going to ever get hacked, you know? So just be prepared. Be prepared, basically. So you can back it up. And you can export it and have a copy of it, but also anytime you go in and want to do an update, you can go back and look at your blogs and retype and re-video and re-upload, and Google loves it when you update things, right? So
a blog, like would you update a blog and
yes.
repost it?
Yeah, so if
I thought Google didn't like that when you repost.
You're not reposting, you're updating. You're not copying, you're going to go in. So I'm actually going to encourage everyone who has been on the Ladies' Knee and been a speaker, if you've got a blog post up, send me an update on your bio and tell me what you want there, because you're going to have that one blog post, and we can embed your audio, your video, and maybe you've got a download. If you want to send me that, I'm happy to post that on your blog for you. And that becomes SEO, and then it also becomes a backlink for you to your website. I'm not willing to do the work and write it for everybody because that would be overwhelming, but I'm offering people the space that if you want to write me the text, I'll embed your video, I'll embed your download, and then that becomes a backlink to your website as well. So, which is really cool, and Google loves that.
I didn't think about backing up any of my content on my site.
Yeah. So it's as easy as
just a lot of blogs. Spent a lot of time.
But like the thing with blogs is that I guess you would keep them to update, but really you have to keep putting blogs.
Yeah, but you can keep reposting them, write them so that they're evergreen. So that, like, I've just at the beginning of this, my caveat is, yes, we're looking at 2019, but if you're watching this video in 2012, here's what you need to do. You just Google this and find the most up-to-date 2012 WordPress. So now that just became evergreen, right? Evergreen. So it's always good content. So when you're thinking about something, always write it so that it's never going to go out of date.
Oh,
right. So it's not like, hey, come out and see. So yes, you might do a blog post that's like, come and see me at this seminar this weekend. Right. That's not evergreen. Right. It's not to say you don't do those.
But if you're teaching a butt exercise, that's evergreen.
Yeah,
that's not going to change.
Oh, I see. Right. So that can go into your bucket of stuff that you're going to repost all the time. You can repost that to social media. You'll notice I've got one that's in my bucket for Lori doing a thing on branding, and it just always pops up, and I need to go back to my bucket on Social Bee and update that, right? Maybe do a new photo or stuff for, because I take our websites and they're on a schedule to just post out, right? So, and that's something like Social Bee will do. And then again, the last one I'm going to actually cover, just because we're running out of time here, is optimizing your images. So one of the simplest ways for your WordPress site to keep the content size down is to just make sure you've uploaded them to Facebook. Just upload all of your photos to a Facebook album, because then you know they've been optimized. They've been squished down. But then we found this one here this morning, number 11, my favorite number, as Kathy goes. She wished me a happy 11-11-11 last night. That was awesome. Thank you. This one's called WordPress Smush. It lets you upload up to 50 photos and squishes them down to something that's going to download really easily. But if you don't want to have that, I use Facebook. I'm like, if anyone wants to send me pictures, I'm like, just send me, because on Facebook you can have those set locked down to private. So
You just do a gallery of your website photos.
Yeah. Well, no, like for example, if you're out in nature,
Yeah.
and you want to take some photos,
Yeah.
just upload them to Facebook. And if you don't want anyone else to see them, you can go into your Facebook options and just put only me.
Okay.
Literally only me.
And then you can.
So say you've got a bunch of pictures of little seeds that you don't really want anyone else to see except maybe your mom. So my daughter and I share photos of the kids, and I can put, because I send grandma shots that I don't want anyone to see publicly, like of crazy faces and stuff like that for Odin. And I'll just put straight just for Hannah or just for me, and then I save it for later. And it's downsized it, it's squished it, and then it becomes useful.
Really good. Thank you.
Anyway, that's all we're going to share for today, because we want to have some time to chat. So, can you bye, Kathy? Bye, Adam. Oops, Adam. Bye, Robin. Bye. And if you guys are ever up in Whistler, just send us a note through Meetup, or you can always find me on Instagram at Anissa Jane. And we have the hashtag The Coffee House Network, and we're growing it. We're looking for different ways to present it as well. So keep watching. So, bye. See you later.